May 2020.
Imperial College, London.
Report 22.
Equity in response of the COVID-19 pandemic.
There exists unfair or avoidable differences in health among different groups in society.
Health inequities. Stay at home.
Vulnerable and disadvantaged populations are at significantly greater risks of COVID-19.
Protect the NHS.
The importance of equity in COVID-19 healthcare decisions must therefore be carefully considered.
In order to maximise health and well-being universally.
Save lives.
6th of May. Epidemics in China, Europe and North America have indicated a strong age gradient in disease severity,
rising sharply from the age 50 years and above.
In response, many countries have recommended
that them at-risk groups protect themselves by social distancing.
We are the only people they have to talk to.
Boris Johnson admits there's a crisis in care homes.
They want me to take off my mask because they can't see me smiling.
A quarter of known coronavirus deaths in Britain have taken place in care homes.
It was scary, having to visit clients after they'd come straight out of the hospital.
The coronavirus death toll is now the highest in Europe and the second highest in the world.
Watching my uncle's funeral on a live stream was surreal. Comforting but surreal. Watching my 10 family members standing in the distance lines, watching my dad walk in on his own, then have to stand alone, away from his family, it broke my heart. I wanted to grab him in my arms, hold him, but all I could feel was the coldness of my computer screen.
We need more PPE.
I haven't seen my family in 8 weeks. I became a year older in this care home. They rely on me.
We need more tests.
I have people I need to protect. I have co-workers on ventilators. I fear for the health of the people that we support.
We need more humanity.
10th of May.
The probability of death from COVID-19 consistently increases with increasing poverty.
7 weeks in shielding.
Boris Johnson outlines the government's plan to ease the lockdown.
At least 5 weeks to go.
And the first step is a change of emphasis that we hope that people will act on this week. We said that you should work from home if you can and only go to work if you must. We now need to stress that anyone who can't work from home, for instance, those in construction or manufacturing, should be actively encouraged to go to work, and we want it to be safe for you to get to work. So you should avoid public transport if at all possible, because we must and will maintain social distancing and capacity will therefore be limited.
Working from home is a luxury I don't have.
I rang up my work wanting to go back, but they didn't want any high risk of people working.
It's not just as simple as avoid public transport.
The choices that have been made are the ones better for the economy, rather than the ones that are better for the people and for the things that make us feel more human. I can help to kickstart the economy, but I can't see my family and I can't leave the house. I'm fed up, I'm bored.
At present, the worst affected countries are in Europe and North America.
Ready to do normal things again.
Where will my baby go when I go to work?
The COVID-19 pandemic has now spread globally, with nearly 4.2 million cases and 284,000 deaths as of the 11th of May 2020.
Where will I find the money for childcare?
There's lots of questions that people in the NHS or the Public Health Agency or the government want to know.
Where is the humanity?
22nd of May.
Revealed that Dominic Cummings has broken lockdown rules by travelling to Durham in late March.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cummings. Do you regret what you did? Because many people in this country have made heartbreaking sacrifices in the last couple of months in order to stick to the rules that you were part of putting together. And many people may have listened to you and think you made your own interpretation. And do you understand, for some people, it seems as if there was one version of the rules for you and one version of the rules for everyone else?
Thank you, Laura. No, I don't regret what I did. As I said, I think reasonable people may well disagree about how I thought about what to do in these circumstances, but I think that what I did was actually reasonable in these circumstances.
Each week you encourage the country to clap for the NHS.
Occupation and income may directly shape an individual's ability to social distance.
For our sacrifice.
Either through enhanced exposure in their employment.
Each Thursday, you clap for me.
Through their employment in a casual labour market.
That provides no safety net for unemployment.
But you don't feel our sacrifice.
For my household, things have been a bit harder.
That's one of the things that will stick with me for a long time, I think. It's kind of a pandemic-specific experience that maybe won't be repeated, but it sets the precedent of how little the government cares for us.
I'm struggling to keep us afloat.
What happened to we're all in this together?
Struggling to keep our heads above the water.
What if I can't afford a backup plan?
Struggling to protect our foundation.
What happened to humanity?
31st of May.
Nationwide Black Lives Matter protests commence in response to the killing of George Floyd.
A recent review led by Public Health England found that death rates from COVID-19 were highest among people in Black, Asian and minority ethnic groups.
I went to the protest at Hyde Park.
I joined the virtual one.
It was huge.
And a byproduct of quarantine is we've been sat on our phones.
There's a lot of things, not that I didn't think about, but I didn't think about enough.
Basically taught to, at the best of times, not trust the police, at the worst of times, completely avoid them, and at the absolute worst, make sure there's as little damage done as possible, physically. We can keep surviving, or we can keep up this theme of addressing issues that are happening now, so that we can aim to just be treated better as human beings, so that we don't need to ignore any issues.
I found it humiliating how little I actually knew.
It's like the end of a trial run in a way.
It was very much a spark.
Confronting my privilege was uncomfortable.
It's ignited now.
I felt nasty, sitting in that feeling.
It came up in a new intensity, a new fire, and it exploded.
It's been really eye-opening. I've learnt so much.
It took the world to stop before people to see before their own doorstep.
When will there be justice?
To get outside their own bubbles.
When will this stop?
When will there be humanity?
May 2020.
One issue came along and swept the whole world.
It affected each and every person.
No one has had the same experience.
But our problems are all valid.
No matter how large or small.
What doesn't affect you will affect someone else.
And what doesn't affect someone else will affect you.
It's been kind of a case study on empathy.
On how much we care for each other.
On humanities in times of crisis.
May 2020.